Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call this meeting of the West Valley Water District Board of Directors to order. It's 6 o'clock in the p.m., and we will start with the roll call of board members.
Thank you, President Young. Director Bennett.
Here.
Director Moore.
Here.
Director Garcia is absent. Vice President Jenkins.
Present.
President Young.
Present.
4 of 5 are present. We have a quorum. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So next up, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Vice President Jenkins, would you lead us?
I'd love to. And right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And for our opening invocation, we have Pastor Vernal Townsend. Pastor Townsend, if you'd lead us in the opening invocation, please.
Sure. Let's pray. Father in heaven, thank you. Thank you so much, Father God, for just all the blessings, the many blessings of life. We're asking you, Father, right now to be with our board of directors here at the West Valley Water District. Be with each and every one of them, Father. And as we make decisions for your community, Father, for the community that you put us in charge of, we ask that all decisions may be based on just doing what is right, Father, and that we might continue to keep you in mind and doing the right thing as we, in the decision making, keep in mind the love and the concern that you have for us, and that we can in turn show that for others, Father. So keep us united in all that we do, not only here at the West Valley Water District, but in our state, in our country, in our nation, Father, that we may be one. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. All right. So next up, we have public comment on closed session item. Madam Secretary.
Thank you. Members of the public may participate and give public comment in one of 4 ways. In person at West Valley Water District.
Can you turn your mic on, please?
It's on. Sorry. Hello? Can you hear? Is that better?
Yeah, now
Sorry.
it is. I can hear it.
Pretty far away. Okay, there we go. Members of the public may participate and give public comment in one of 4 ways. In person at West Valley Water District's Administrative Boardroom. Administrative Boardroom. Via telephone by calling 888-475-4499 with access code 840-293-7790, via Zoom with access code 840-293-7790, or via email to administration@wvwd.org.
Have we received any requests for public comment on the closed session item?
None in person or via email. I don't know about online.
Okay, if anyone would like to speak to the closed session item, now is your time to do so. Please unmute yourself. Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close public participation for closed session, and we will adjourn into closed session. Thank you.
So this one's muted right here.
Try and do my Zoom.
This one is not.
Is this one?
All right, we are back from closed session. We'll have a report out from closed session.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The board met in closed session on item 1, under Government Code 54957, work performance evaluation. There was no reportable action.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. So next up, board, we have to adopt the agenda. We have an agenda before us. If there's no changes to the agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
I motion that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Okay, we have
I'll second.
we have a first and a second. Any discussion? Okay, saying none, we'll go ahead and call the roll.
Thank you. Director Bennett?
Yes.
Director Moore?
Yes.
Director Garcia?
Yes.
Vice President Jenkins?
Yes.
President Young?
Yes.
That passes 5-0. Thank you.
Okay, all right, next up, we have public participation.
Thank you. Members of the public may participate and give public comment in one of 4 ways: in person at West Valley Water District's Administrative Boardroom, via telephone by calling 888-475-4499 with access code 840-293-7790, via Zoom with access code 840-293-7790, or via email to administration@wvwd.com or .org.
All right, have we received any requests for public comment?
None in person via email and none online.
All right, I don't see anyone here, so going once, going twice, 2.5. All right, we'll go ahead and close public participation. We have no presentations this evening, so we'll go to the consent calendar. So we have 8 items on the consent calendar this evening. Unless someone would like to pull an item, I'll entertain the balance.
I motion that we approve the consent calendar as presented.
Okay, we have a first. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. No discussion. We'll go ahead and call the roll.
Thank you. Director Bennett?
Nope.
Director Moore?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't hear Director Bennett. Apologies.
Yes.
Thank you. Director Garcia?
Yes.
Vice President Jenkins?
Yes.
President Young?
Yes.
That passes 5-0.
All right, so next up to business items, we have 1 item for this evening. So who's presenting?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, this is for the our next fiscal year 26 budget, and we had a workshop on this recently, and I think I'll just turn it over to Jose for a presentation. Get it going.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. As John mentioned, we had a budget workshop, and I just have a brief presentation for the board, for staff, and the public. A little bit of similar information as before, but want to make sure it's presented. So I'm pleased to present budget fiscal year 25-26. Next slide, please. So going back again with the budget process, I want to start that very intense process that we take place here at the district. Finance submits the preliminary worksheets, to the departments, and they do their budget requests for us. Once we get the requests, we compile the preliminary budget, the developed worksheets, and we start budget planning sessions. With these sessions, what I like to include there is basically we want to make sure the budget is in line with our strategic plan and long-term goals set by the board. I really believe that the budget is a framework for the strategic plan. So with these revisions, we meet with the supervisors, managers, and we also meet with the AGM, GM, and myself, and we come to a preliminary draft for the Finance Committee. At the Finance Committee, we go over it, and the Finance Committee gives suggestions, adjustments, comments. Once it goes through the Finance Committee, it goes through the budget workshop, as mentioned, and we find no adjustments. I'm happy to say that we didn't have many adjustments from the workshop or any, and we're here at June 26th to adopt the budget. After the adoption of the budget, we will distribute the budget to the stakeholders for the county, and put it online and start the budget book process to get it completed. Next slide, please. Budget development factors considered for this budget are, as you know, our existing water rates, source water costs, projected water demand, customer growth, investment earnings, salary and benefits, inflationary pressures in energy, fuel, chemicals, and other supplies, our capital improvement plan to sustain infrastructure, and our debt service obligations. Next slide. To go over the budget summary, want to just emphasize proposed budget for next fiscal year 2025-26. Total revenue is at 46.5. Happy to say that we're able to use reserves to fully fund the CAP. So as we go down the expenditures, as you see, we have a positive net revenue before contribution of $8 million. So that means we only need $8 million from past reserves or past years of surplus in order to complete the $16.1 million CIP plan in order to balance the budget. So kudos to many years of compiling reserves or raising reserves in order to actually use them for infrastructure when the district really needs it. So that's important. Next slide. For operating revenues, we have $32.7 million for next year's proposed budget. For water sales, for next year, we don't anticipate leasing the Chino Basin water rights. That's why you see a deduction, but realistically, within the line items in the budget I presented, we are expecting a 2% growth in Tier 1 and Tier 2 for water sales as we feel it's going to be a hotter year this year. And for Tier 3, we left it stagnant because we'll be, we think we're going to experience conservation due to the regulations, even though we're going to continue to have 2% growth in connections. Next slide. For non-operating revenues, the district is steadily receiving $4.4 million in property taxes. Our interest and investment earnings at 4.2, which is really good for the agency. And we do expect to receive 1.5 in grants and reimbursements from the Supervisor Baca monies for the Bloomington Alley. And we do expect to receive a $3.6 million legal settlement monies next fiscal year. That's why it totals to $13.8 million. Next slide. Next slide. Oh, thank you. For the proposed next year's budget for the debt covenant ratio, as you can see, we're going to have a strong 6.4 ratio. What that means is we could pay 6.4 times our debt bond covenant ratio. Our agreement or our bond requires us to maintain a minimum ratio of 1.2 for our bond. For the SRF payments, we are expecting to commence those payments until fiscal year 2026-27. So for this upcoming year, we're only including the interest for half of the year. So next slide. For budgeted operating expenses, in front of you, the slide contains a pie chart breaking down the costs by different departments, totaling a total of $36.1 million. The largest portion, obviously, is operations at 44%, or $15.9 million. Next slide. This slide shows a different way, now through a table, showing the three main departments that had increases for this budget. The total request increase is $1.8 million, or 5%. The three major departments are engineering, over $500,000, operation water treatment $300,000, and operations production for $400,000. Next slide.
Hmm.
For the authorized positions, we're steadily staying at 88 full-time employees, and we also do have 7 part-time 1,000-hour employees within the budget. So it shows the commitment for the district to assess when there's vacancies and really use staff or resources where the district really needs them. Next slide. The vacant full-time positions right now for fiscal year, they're projected for fiscal year 25-26 is 4. 1 in finance, a customer service rep. In engineering, we have a project manager. And in operations, we have the water systems operator 2 and our chief water systems operator in production. And we actually, it's going to be part of John's report, but we actually received another vacancy. We received a resignation in our support services supervisor.
Oh.
So that would be another vacant position. Next slide. I would say this slide is probably the most important slide of this deck. Our 5-year outlook for proposed 2026, the district will have a sound budget, but I want to note the out years in 2029 and 2030, our operating revenues, including non-operating revenues, will not be enough to cover total operating expenses. Actions required for the new fiscal year would be to complete and implement the cost of service rate structure study. Right now, I do want to note, as you can see on the non-operating revenue, the district has had good fortune in receiving one-time revenues with it via legal settlements or other sales, like the Niagara agreement. But in the future, we have to rely on our system operating revenues, and that should cover our operating expenditures itself. And the plan, or I think for the district, would be using non-operating revenues to fund CIP and infrastructure. Next slide. Going into the capital budget, our capital investments in assets and projects. The capital expenditures have impacts on future operating expenses, both in increased costs and cost savings. The district's capital improvement program is based upon a 5-year planning schedule. The primary sources of these planning efforts are the district CAP 10-year master plan. Next slide. For the total capital improvement projects, as you know, through an initiative our general manager has given us to complete at 100% our CAP, and that's where we're going to try our efforts for. So we have a total of 25.2 carryover in projects, comprised of $13.9 million in capacity fee projects and $9 million in other projects from reserves. And we also have $2.3 million for the grant and community project funding carryovers. For new requests, as you can see, the a lot lower amount, with contributing from operating revenue source surplus of 5.6 and capacity fee projects 0.4 equaling $6 million in new requests for CIP projects. Next slide. For this slide, we listed the carryover top 10 projects listed in this table. The list of these 10 projects comprise of 90% of all the carryover projects, again totaling at $25.2 million for these projects. Next slide. For the new requests or top 10 projects, again, the list of the 10 projects, and these 10 projects comprise of 70% of the new requests for the projects, totaling at $6 million. Next slide. This last slide, it's our 5-year forecast of total reserves. So on this bar chart, what it shows is that our unrestricted reserves will start to have a downward trend due to capital cash outflows in fiscal year 25-26. Again, the actions required for the new fiscal year would be to complete and implement the cost of service and rate structure study. Both unrestricted and restricted reserves will start to decline due to the cash outlay of our CIP plan, as we do have an aggressive CIP plan for the next years. Next slide. I believe that, yeah, with that, I'm more than happy to answer any questions regarding the budget.
First of all, just want to thank you, Jose, and thank you, Gus, team, the finance committee, all the managers and supervisors. You all did a great job putting this budget together, and really do appreciate it. And does anybody have?
Oh. Great job.
Thank you.
From a committee standpoint, I can tell you that we worked very hard, and Gus, Jose and Gus's leadership was bar none. Thank you.
All right. Well, if there's no questions, I'll entertain.
I just have a comment.
Good.
Are we going to get another Tripacron?
That's the plan.
Oh,
All right, good job.
good question.
Yeah. Well, do you get like anything special for so many years in a row, or?
I don't think so, but we'll ask.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion on the item to approve the 3 recommendations in front of us here.
I motion that we approve 3 recommendations in front of us.
So staff recommendations 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. We have a first and a second. If there's no discussion, we'll call the vote.
Thank you. Director Bennett,
Yes.
Director Moore,
Yes.
Director Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Jenkins,
Yes.
President Young.
Yes.
That passes 5-0. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have board committee reports. Does any committees have any reports?
Yes. I participated in the Engineering and Operations Committee meeting last night, and it was very informative, both by Joanne and Rocky, on a number of topics that we reviewed, and look forward to going forward in some of the major ones and completing what has been delayed for a number of years, and look forward to the next meeting.
Anything from either of you?
For External Affairs Committee, we had a meeting on the June 23rd. We got general updates on the public affairs. We met with the Fontana Unified and the Rialto Unified School District to discuss the K-12 education and career opportunities for the next school year. Staff will be working with Rialto Unified School District to bring a presentation to the Board of Directors in the upcoming weeks. The iPace Smart Marketing Public Affairs has been working diligently on the iPace Smart Marketing as we get closer to launching the program. A variety of notifications were sent to customers via different media, such as postcards, newsletters, social media, and through our website. Outreach will continue after program launch to encourage customers to sign up. Water quality reports, postcards will also be mailed to customers in the next few days. We talked about our sponsorship policy. We reviewed a draft sponsorship policy created to outline how our public funds can be used in a fair and transparent manner to support community events and programs. Feedback was provided, and the policy will be presented at the next month's policy committee meeting. California Strategies provided updates on an overview of legislation that the district is supporting or opposing, an update on the Delta Conveyance Project, which was not included in the budget presented by the legislative, but will likely continue through the policy process. Also, the Office of the Governor Newsom shared their appreciation of CalStrat providing a Me Too statement on behalf of the district against the audit of the Delta Conveyance Project. That's my report.
All right. Thank you.
I have a report on the Finance Committee with Director Garcia and I. which was just mentioned about the iPay Smart, which is scheduled to go live July 1, or live in July. I won't say July 1. We have so many delays. This will allow customers to have a different payment methods available to pay their bills and enhance the customer experience. Item 2 was the water rate study, which Raftalis is currently working on updating the numbers for the water rate study and will be incorporating the approved budget information. We expect another rate study workshop to be scheduled sometime in the next few months. With fiscal year 25-26 budget, the committees also reviewed the proposed budget and approved it for placing on tonight's agenda, which has just been approved. And finally, we reviewed all the standard monthly reports, which were also on tonight's budget. End of my report.
Okay, any other committee reports? All right, if not, we'll go to board members. Do any board members have any reports or comments?
Yeah. Let's see. On the 16th, we attended the ASBCD monthly meeting. On the 17th was the San Bernardino Metropolitan Water District meeting as well. I attended that. On the 18th, we had a well meeting. A future conference is coming up there. On the 19th, I participated in the Juneteenth program, and it's good to see our people there. It was a great turnout, lots of people. So thank you guys.
Last night I attended the city council meeting. Well, that was the night before last. And once again, the budget is one of the main topics. And the city of Rialto financially seems to be going in good shape. And I'm glad to see that West Valley is also, due to the presentation today, is confidence going forward of fiscal responsibility. And looking forward to 25-26.
Last week, I apologize. Last week, I attended the ASBC SD monthly meeting, and Director Garcia and I were in Sacramento on the 17th together. Very busy day with Socorro Pantalon, and I like to say that we got a lot done in meeting our local elected officials. I stayed an additional day till the 18th and kind of did another round with other local officials, and I was fortunate enough to speak in front of the committee board for the state. And I too also participated with President Young in the Juneteenth event at the park near my house.
We also attended the 80th birthday of our city council for the city of Fontana. That was a very nice event.
Yes.
And we got on the Senate floor when we went to Sacramento, so that was very nice because they had a welcome West Valley Water District, and we got to go places where people don't get to really sit and take some very candid pictures. And we had our own personal photographer, right?
Because of you, yes, thank you.
Duh. But that's it. Thank you.
All right. As Vice President Jenkins mentioned, we attended the birthday celebration for Councilman Roberts, and that was a really nice event. And also went to the Juneteenth event, and it was a great turnout. Now, we were there a little earlier, and it was already pretty busy. So a great event, and glad to see our people out there. And just on a personal note, just want to wish my parents a happy 56th wedding anniversary just a couple days ago. So with that, we'll go to the general manager.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I have a number of updates, starting with staffing and recruitments. Public Outreach and Government Affairs Representative 1. Our new POGA 1 will be starting July 7th. We have an opening in customer service at Rep 1 for a while. This position is under management evaluation. We're always looking, as Jose mentioned, we're looking to assess and reassess the staffing needs all across the district as priorities and workloads change and as technologies and other opportunities for efficiencies develop. Water Distribution Operator 2, first interviews are on July 9th. And associate engineer with PE. Earlier tonight on consent, the board just approved the reclassification to project manager. So we'll start that recruitment right away. And then as Jose mentioned, we just have a new opening in support services supervisor. We just received this resignation after some discussion. We have really have a fresh job description, and we're planning to begin recruitment for this position immediately. And then finally, as I mentioned last time, Joe Shack, our Chief Water Systems Operator for Production, is retiring, and he is retired. This was his last day. And Joe's been a tremendous force at the district, been impactful in so many ways, really always looking to do the right thing at the right time, in the right way. And he was certainly a leader at the district for our emergency response planning efforts. We had a really nice retirement lunch for him earlier this week. And I expect the board would like to address him in person. He couldn't make that here tonight, but he's planning to be here at our next board meeting in July. And he is very appreciative of that offer.
Awesome.
But big shoes to fill there. We do have a short-term plan in place to maintain coverage and capability in the production department. As we, we're going to take a look at this, take this opportunity to evaluate the position, evaluate how best to structure the position and the department within the operations division. So more to come on that. And then a handful of other updates. Water rate study, we're continuing to work with Raftellus to refine the finance model and the rate study scenarios. Going to be some changes coming there. So we're looking at another board workshop in like 6 to 8 weeks. For the quarterly board report, we're starting to compile that. And the board should see this at the next meeting as well. Engineering CIP, I just wanted to mention, really making some great strides on the engineering CIP with many projects getting off the shelf, getting through permitting, advertising for bids, getting ready to break ground later this summer and fall. These include the Lord Ranch projects, the Highway 15 waterline crossing, Bloomington Waterline Phase 3C, finally. But more details coming to you at the next board meeting. We'll have business items and presentations for all of those and more. And just a couple comments on regional coordination activities. We're working on a partnership with Supervisor Baca and Valley District to bring turf rebate funding to help forward a large water conservation project to Rosina Ranch. So we're working on that, have high hopes, but regional coordination. And also we're working with Supervisor Baca and the county fire chief on a potential partnership we're exploring the installation of helicopter water refilling stations to fight wildfires.
Good.
On the strategic plan, the work plan updates, we're continuing to make great progress on our strategic plan and all those work plan goals, over 200 last time. I was planning to bring the board the status update next month as well, July 17th. As we were kind of recognizing at committee yesterday, it's going to be a lot coming to the board on July 17th. So I guess I'll open this up to a question. Would you like to have this report at the first meeting in August, or keep this as scheduled on July 17th?
Yeah, and I'll just add that there's about 3 fairly big construction items that I've asked that we actually have full presentations on, just so the board's fully aware of the project. So
You start at noon.
that's kind of why I was suggesting to John that we not have the work plans on the same night. But if you guys would prefer that, we can still do that, or like John said, we can push it off to August.
I like August.
Okay. That okay with everybody? Okay. Again, I just recognized from our committee last night that we have a lot of really big projects that we probably need to talk about, and it's going to be a long meeting, probably.
A lot of history to those,
Yes.
and a really good story coming forward. So,
Yes. Okay.
sounds like
August.
August.
Sounds like-
August it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my last item I just wanted to mention, I just clicked off 2 years here at the district, moving here after spending the previous 30 years at Lake Tahoe. It's been a very big change and a challenge for me personally and professionally. I do thank the board for their confidence in me, for selecting me, and bringing me here with you at a challenging time to accomplish great things together. So very appreciative to you for that. While I did bring a lot of experience from Tahoe and ideas from my past, I must say that I've grown tremendously here in the past 2 years, and with all the many unique opportunities and challenges that we face together. Very thankful for that. Problems are for you, and they make you grow, they make you better. I'm also grateful to this dedicated and empowering board and our talented and hardworking staff. We've all accomplished so much together in 2 years. I think some of the highlights include developing that strategic plan and advancing that through 236 individual work plan goals, completion and implementation of the class comp, the new cross-training, employee development, employee of the month, employee of the year, and department of the year programs, a new grants program, advancement in operations, asset management, budget processes, and CIP delivery, developing and implementing best policies and practices, expanding our community education and workforce development initiatives, and all the extensive regional, state, and national advocacy efforts, regional leadership and water resources, that ASB CSD event with Norma Torres, and advancing other regional political and funding partnerships with Jesse Armendariz, Joe Baca Jr., Pete Aguilar, and others. As a foundation, I wanted to help build trust and capacity all throughout the district and develop a culture of excellence, advance a high-performance workforce, all of us working together as one district team, creating a workplace where we want to come to work, share ideas, work together to make a difference, a place to be proud of, and working together to accomplish something important, something special. As an employee, a place where you want to work, have purpose, have the resources and the direction to make a positive impact. A place where you can enjoy your work and the workplace, make a good living for your family, and build a career. As a board member, a place that you can be proud of, where you can bring your ideas forward, build consensus on a plan moving forward, set priorities, set budget, and work with me and our team to get it done. I think our emerging education and workforce development program is a great example of this right now. So over the last 2 years, we accomplished a lot. I feel like we're just getting started with tremendous momentum in so many areas. Hasn't been perfect. I'm still learning myself. I'll always be learning. I guess I never promised to be perfect, or you try to be perfect, but I promised that I would bring all that I have, and I'd do my very best for you, for staff, for our community, and really as part of a process of continuous improvement. Ultimately, I'm always looking to do what's right, striving to bring out the best in all of our people and treat all others as you or I would like to be treated. I wanted to be a leader that leads from the heart, implements from the head, and works with others to do great things in a team-based environment. I feel like I've been true to that. I wanted to build and earn trust and respect, build a great team internally and externally with all staff across all departments, with the board, with our regional partners. So I believe we've made tremendous advances in the last 2 years on all those fronts, and the future is bright. So that's it for me so far after 2 years. Any questions or comments?
Any questions?
I like to say that, wow, we've done all that in 2 years. And thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, legal?
Well, if John's 2 years, then I'm 2 years. So
Just about.
Oh, read on.
I think you're 2 years and 2 weeks. Or something
thank you
like
very
that.
much for the opportunity. Seriously, we are honored and take very seriously being your legal counsel. So thank you. That's all I have.
All right, board secretary. In mine, you're number 5. But we can go out of order if you want. But
Yeah, apologies, that was flipped in the agenda, but yes, you're
Okay.
next.
go ahead.
Hi, good evening, President, young members of the board. We can put the slide up there. Thank you so much. So as mentioned earlier tonight, Vice President Jenkins and Director Garcia, we attended, we did an advocacy trip last week in Sacramento for 2 days, and it was very productive. 2 days, I want to say. I think we walked about 15,000 steps each day. My watch kind of said that, so got a nice little workout. But we did meet with the office of Assemblymember Leticia Castillo, the State Water District Control Board, Assemblymember Herbedian, Assemblymember James Ramos, Assemblymember Tom Lackey, Senator Renee Sasha Perez office, Assemblymember Greg Wallace, who's the chair of the Inland Empire Caucus, and then we met with State Water District Control Board member Morgan as well. And as you see on the screen, we do have Vice President Jenkins, who did a Me Too for Senate Bill 394 Allen, which is the fire hydrant bill, increasing the penalties on stealing water from fire hydrants. And then we also have a photo of the team up on the floor session in the Assembly. So overall, very productive meetings. We talked about our legislative priorities, the Delta Conventions Project, education program initiatives, Prop 4 funding allocation. So that is my report for today on the advocacy front. And then just a quick reminder, this Sunday, the Working Dogs for Warriors will be having their event at the Fontana Park. So where the Jesse Turner Center is, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you need further information, just let me know. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Socorro and Angie, Dan. Looks like you guys great trip and very productive. So I'm very pleased that the trip went so well for you.
Well, if I haven't said, by the way, when we met with Assemblymember Ramos, is that he mentioned, weren't you guys just here? Referring to Director Bennett and Director Moore. So they charged the way for that meeting.
Well, just to add on to that, I was privileged to participate in a prayer by Director Moore with Mr. Ramos, and they're very well acquainted. And it was just a joy to see them together.
I just feel bad because I didn't get to meet him in January, so you all got to spend time with him, and I didn't. But maybe next time. So, well, great job to the Pogo team, and thank you for Director Garcia and Vice President Jenkins for your trip up to Sacramento. All right, so now we'll go back to the board secretary, out of order.
Thank you, President Young. Just an outlook on what July is going to be looking like. Next week, we've got the San Bernardino Valley Municipal Water District Board, which Director Moore will be attending. The Bloomington MAC is canceled for next week and will resume again in August. The regular board meeting, normally scheduled on the 3rd, has been canceled. All agenda items will then be combined to the 17th, and then will be closed on the 4th for Independence Day. Following week, Safety Committee, Executive Committee, HR, and Policy Committee. The week after that, we have Finance, again, another Valley Water Board meeting, regular board meeting on the 17th. And then we have the Southern California Water Coalition that's happening in Simi Valley. Director Moore and Vice President Jenkins have RSVP'd to attend. That's going to be at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. Thank you. Also, POGA is starting their movies in the park. So you'll see when I list this that all of the community events that you receive invites for from POGA are going to be listed in like purple pink, so that you can tell them apart from the regular invites that require RSVPs. These are, they're going to be in the community just for you to be aware if you'd like to attend. ASB-CSD the following week with Executive Committee, and then Engineering, rounding out to External Affairs. And I think I needed to remove one of that Executive Committee on the 22nd. It's only happening on the 29th. Apologies. And then Bloomington Movies in the Park. Following month, very busy August as well.
Ooh, yeah.
All of the committee meetings that are going on. BIA Water Conference is happening in Ontario. That invite has gone out to you all. So if you plan on attending, please let me know. National Night Out is going to be a big one that POGA will be attending at all 4 surrounding cities. Okay, yeah, but you'll get an invite again from POGA on that. Of note, we do have the CSDA at the end of the month. that's happening in Monterey. I've got Director Bennett, Director Moore, and Vice President Jenkins that have RSVP'd. You've been registered and hotels are reserved for you already. And the regular committee meetings for the month.
So do we need to reschedule those committees for that last week?
That is the question.
Okay.
That is the question.
All right, well, I would maybe suggest that you work with each of the committees on if we need to reschedule those.
Sure. I'll work on that within the next couple weeks to make sure that gets taken care of.
All right, any questions?
No. 25th to 20th.
All right, okay. Anything else for the good of the order? Nope. All right, thank you all. We're adjourned.